As Florida opens back up, there are some waiting on more than a signal from the governor. They're waiting on a vaccine.
In tonight's Full Circle report, I-Team reporter KYLIE McGivern looks at what it will take to get a COVID-19 vaccine out to the public.
Up early, in line, mask on. This is Jason Polanski's new weekly routine.
I know exactly where I'm going.
A trip to the grocery store, the biggest risk he's willing to take.
You know, I'm not a scared guy. It's just I have one of those conditions that it kills.
Polanski has an underlying heart issue, putting him at a high risk if he were to contract the coronavirus. He says it's forced him to hang up his keys as an Uber driver and stop baking for local restaurants.
All right, I might have to sell the house. But I'd sell the house before I risk my life.
What would a vaccine mean for you?
Life. I'd be back to normal.
You know, I'm cautiously optimistic.
In a recent interview with the Journal of the American Medical Association, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who has become a household name, says we could see a vaccine for COVID-19 by the beginning of next year. Fauci says a vaccine from the company Moderna is scheduled to enter its third and final trial phase in July.
So there'll be 30,000 people in the trial.
It's a race against time as the death count continues to tick up.
It's really aggressive, and it'll be faster than any other vaccine.
Dr. Michael Teng is a virologist with the University of South Florida and points out recent vaccines took more than a decade to get to the public.
So the last few vaccines that have been put on the market have taken between 10 and 15 years to get on the market.
Is it possible that we can't create a vaccine for COVID-19?
That's certainly one of the worries. So the virus that I work on, respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, this virus was first identified in 1957, and we still don't have a vaccine for it.
Dr. Teng says there are still a lot of unknowns when it comes to helping scientists develop an effective vaccine.
We don't know how infectious the virus is. If we can get away with a lower percentage of the population that's actually immune, and that will block transmission, then that might be okay, but we really don't know.
Something we do know, Dr. Fauci says potential vaccines are being fast-tracked and could be produced en masse before we even know if they are effective. The federal government has set a goal of 100 million doses ready to go by the end of the year. And Origenics, a company based in Tampa, it wants to start its own clinical trial to help in the search for a vaccine.
While we may be late to the game, our technology is a bit more advanced as far as an established track record for developing vaccines.
Alan JOSLYN, CEO of Origenics, says their mission to develop a vaccine is about freedom.
The ability to go back to the way life was before this pandemic is important for people.
Traveling, working, hugging. Because life was put on hold due to stay-at-home orders, Dr. Teng says we've been able to lessen the spread. But as restrictions ease, without a vaccine, his concerns grow.
We're in a position that there's nothing else we can do right now except for trying to not get infected.
Which is why Polanski says he plans to stay at home.
When the data says otherwise, I'll be back to living.
In Tampa, KYLIE McGivern, ABC Action News.